What's crack-a-lackin'? Welcome in to My Mind is a Weapon Fantasy Football Show.
Welcome in on this beautiful Tuesday morning. I am your host, SleezBall. Episode 48 is here. This is going to be my running back week 3 rankings, top 32. Before we get into it, guys, make sure you hit that thumbs up, smash that subscription button, turn that bell on so you know when I'm live. All the support has been appreciated across Apple, Spotify, YouTube, everything. I can't thank you guys enough for helping me on this journey. Now, in this video, I will also show running backs that are waiver wire possibilities at the bottom that I don't have ranked because I don't know the rotation yet. And I'm also going to have running backs that are off the board because of injury and off my rankings from last week, and then running backs that are in from last week. So, without further ado, let's dive into the running back video here, guys. So, guys, here is my board. You're going to see the ballers tier, tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, tier 4, tier 5, all the way down. I'm going to get to my top 32 players. And remember, at the beginning of the video, I said I have players at the bottom that are on IR that I don't know if they're playing yet, and these are running backs that are out of my rankings from last week. So, CMC, obviously on IR, looks like about 5 weeks from now, we probably see him. Isaiah Pacheco with the fibula out 5 to 7 weeks as well. That's why I have Carson Steele here. So, they are bringing in Kareem Hunt today. He's going to get a visit. But I don't see a 29-year-old coming in off the street and going to be taking the job right away if that happens. I think Carson Steele is going to get the first crack at this, and he's the fan favorite. And you're going to have people rocking his Steele hair at the game and everything crazy. I think it's going to be a pretty good game here for Carson Steele, but I don't know how it's going to play out, so I didn't rank him in my top 32 yet. Now, with Kenneth Walker and Zach Charbonnet that are here, so if Kenneth Walker plays, he's a top 10 running back for me, right? 100%. And they're playing Miami with no quarterback, so it'd be a smash matchup. I don't know if he's going to make it out with the oblique, so I have Zach Charbonnet here also at the bottom. And if Zach Charbonnet gets it and Kenneth Walker is out, then Zach Charbonnet is a top 15 running back. Jalen Warren, I am taking out of my top 32 with a tough matchup versus the Chargers. And Raheem Mostert, I am taking out of my roster until I even see him get up there. Now, heading into the ballers tier, the number 1 running back for the rest of the season for me when he is healthy and out there. I've been preaching it all off season. I've been tweeting it. I've been telling everybody that this man will be on the most fantasy football winning rosters this season. And it is Devon. The hurricane season is here, guys. Now, 22 points last week, 29 touches. All I heard was he can't be a 3-down back. He's injury prone. He can't carry the load. The man just had 30 touches. Wipe that nonsense off. Move on, go get Devon A.K. Well, you can't trade for him now. But and now you get Skylar Thompson. So you lose Tua. Skylar Thompson targets the running back more. They're going to feed this entire offense pretty much through Etienne. They'll get a couple sprinkles to Waddle and Hill there. We don't know how Skylar Thompson's going to look. And this is going to be a full-blown Etienne attack the rest of the way. And his value has just shot through the freaking roof, man. Number 2 running back, again, if you followed my content from the beginning of the year, I said make sure you target Jordan Mason. I said he's going to be a huge sleeper running back. Christian McCaffrey's injury worries me. And look now, I have Jordan Mason ranked as my number 2 running back. He gets the Los Angeles Rams, who are decimated with injuries. 4 offensive linemen down, 3 defensive starters, Puka Nacua, Cooper Kupp. This is going to be a full-blown Jordan Mason, 25 touches, 150 plus yards, 2 TD game, an absolute smash play. And if you're in, dynasty or redraft, this is like, people are looking at it like, oh, I don't know how long Mason's going to be here. I don't know what the trade value is. You should go acquire this guy because if you've seen how he looks, I don't think they're even going to use CMC at full strength the rest of the way till the postseason comes. And I think Jordan Mason is an absolute freak, man. Number 3 is going to be Breece Hall. And here's what's going to happen Thursday night. Everyone's going to rush to the waiver wire right now and go get Breeland Allen. And he's got 2 touchdowns. Dude, Breece Hall was hurt in the game. He came out for a little bit. They used him sparingly because of the injury. And they had the game in hand at the time, right? 24-17, they won the game. Now, Breece Hall gets the New England Patriots here. He's going to be healthy. He's going to get 85+% snaps here, and everyone that picked up Breeland Allen is going to realize that they just got a handcuff, and that's exactly how it's going to go, and Breece Hall is going to smash this week. Number 4, Bijan Robinson, man. This guy looks like the best running back in football, but for some reason, he's not finding the end zone. And I know he played 2 tough defenses here to start. He played Pittsburgh and he played Philly, which is rough, but the man looks like everything you wanted, but he's just not finding pay dirt. And I have him at running back 4 this week, but it's like one of those games here where I'm looking at it and I'm like, KC, man, is he going to find the end zone against Kansas City on Sunday Night Football? I hope so. I mean, it's going to be a great game to watch. I think he's in for like another 14, 15, but if he finds Pater, he's going off. If this guy scores any game, you're looking at 20 plus because his usage is through the roof. He gets 88% snap share, and the guy looks like a freaking demon, man. Number 5, and the only reason I have Saquon Barkley so low is the matchup here, guys. He takes on the New Orleans Saints. He should have scored last night of Monday Night Football. He was inch short, cost him, his 20-point game. Saquon Barkley was my running back 2 on the year. The only freaking guy on the planet to put him that high because I know Saquon is that goddamn good. And now the New Orleans Saints just locked up every running back they played against so far. Panthers, Cowboys, they don't have a running back over 30 yards. So it's not going to be easy to, tough sledding in the front. I think you'll see a lot of passing work in this game, especially with A.J. Brown out. But I think he's going to be like in the 60, 70 rushing yards or maybe lower. And if he doesn't find a touchdown in this game, I know against a tough front, I'm not saying he can't score. It's Saquon Barkley, but it's just a tougher matchup for me, which is why I have him at number 5 instead of like 1 or 2 where I want to put him. Number 6, the number 1 running back in football. The guy I targeted in every single draft, every single best ball, everything, told everyone to draft higher than it was Alvin Kamara. And this man right now has 66, my bad, that's standard, 66 fantasy points in 2 games. That's averaging 33. And you're missing this as well. The Saints in week 1 didn't play Alvin Kamara in the second half. The Saints in week 2 didn't play Alvin Kamara down the last 8-minute stretch of the Cowboys game. They've blown out both teams. Alvin Kamara could have 80 to 90 points. This man looks like he's 23. He looks exactly what I thought he would look like, and it's the Clint Kubiak offense here is absolutely rolling, and Alvin Kamara is going to feast every single week, man. That's it for the Ballers tier. We're heading down to tier 1 now, guys. Number 7 running back is going to be Zamir Gibbs. Now, Zamir Gibbs is right there. He's like right there on the cusp. This man looks like he's shot out of a goddamn cannon. It's so crazy how fast he looks once he just hits that extra gear. He gets the Arizona Cardinals. This should be a smash matchup, right? I said that last week with the Rams. That would be a smash matchup, and they got injuries and it didn't happen. I think right here, Zamir Gibbs is going to explode in this game. He's averaged 17 points over 2 games, and he's taken the snap share from David Montgomery. And you can tell that this guy's just an absolute stud running back. And man, I want to put him in the baller tier here, but I'm going to put him on my running back 7 this week because he hasn't cracked the 20 spot yet. Number 8, James Cook. Shout out to my guy, Disco, Big Draft Energy. Put James Cook in the top 5 running backs, and he is absolutely balling. He got the hat trick before halftime last week. 30-point game and didn't even play into the second half. James Cook is an absolute fantasy steal at draft value if you got it. Now, this week he's going to get Monday Night Football, so you get the last laugh as well for your matchups, and you get the Jacksonville Jaguars. And I think he's going to find pay dirt again, and he's an absolute smash play. And all the Ray Davis rookie talk at the beginning can just go away finally for real. I mean, I couldn't even believe it was happening. Number 9, Josh Jacobs. So what they've done now since they've lost Jordan Love is they're like, hey, we're just going to let the whole offense run through one guy. And we're going to see what Josh Jacobs is made of. I know they played the Colts, and the Colts defense is very weak. And, you got to see Anthony Richardson struggle as well, even with no quarterback out there. But Josh Jacobs saw 32 carries, guys. 32. 151 yards to go with it. He didn't find pay dirt. Now, in this matchup here, you're going to get the Tennessee Titans, right? And the Tennessee Titans have struggled offensively. So the opportunities for Jacobs to see a 20-plus touch game here again is staring right at you. The problem is Malik Willis. I mean, Malik Willis is going to struggle. This Tennessee secondary is very good. They might just feed him 40 times this game. But finding the end zone is going to be the tough part. They're going to have to move the ball down there. But Josh Jacobs' volume right now is just ridiculous. Number 10, James Conner. And just like James Cook, just like I said in every single video, you can throw all the rookie running back nonsense away. Trey Benson is not taking this job without injury. Blake Corum is not taking Kyron without injury. Ray Davis is not taking James Cook without injury. Bucky Irving is not taking Rashad White without injury. I mean, it was just nonsense rookie fantasy football hype that gets people. I tried to tell everyone the studs will be the studs, the rookies will wait, and James Conner is proving this 100%. This man is on an absolute mission right now, and the Arizona Cardinals offense is clicking. And this matchup, it looks like it's a bad matchup, but it's not. You get the Detroit Lions, and man, if they just get to the red zone, you're looking at James Conner. I mean, he's got back-to-back 20-point games. They kind of got beat out in week 1 bad, so he didn't even play down the stretch. And then they beat out the Rams so bad in the second game that he didn't play down the stretch. So he's only playing like 65% of the snaps and still has 40 points. This man is a must-start every single week. Number 11, this one hurts, man. Kyron Williams. So I'm looking at this 2 ways here, right? So when I look at Kyron, I'm looking at the Rams' offensive line is depleted to the max. I'm looking at Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua are down. I'm looking at their defense is missing a lot of starters. Either this is going to be a very, very bad downfall from here on out for Kyron, or this is going to be the most explosive train you ever wished you were a part of right now. Because this could be, they're going to feed him 90% of snap share and just blast Kyron Williams all the way. Or it could be, they fall behind all the time here and Kyron Williams isn't even playing and you see garbage time like Blake Corum like last game. So I haven't really dove into purchasing him yet because I want to see how it looks, but it could be too late if you don't. If you're not trying to trade for him now and all of a sudden, and he has a tough matchup against the 49ers too, but if he explodes and goes for 20 plus here and the workload looks insane like it could, then I'm going to wish I bought Kyron Williams, but it is iffy because the Rams had me really nervous right now. Number 12 is Derrick the King Henry. Man, I missed on this last week. Well, I guess I didn't miss. He still had a solid 16, 17-point fantasy game with 84 yards and a touchdown, but I thought he was going for 102 or 100 yards and 2 touchdowns. Didn't happen. Now, this matchup here, you get the Cowboys. The Cowboys were just thrashed by Alvin Kamara, but it's a different type of, as my dog says, hi, hey, Lily. It's a different type of matchup running-wise. Alvin Kamara can get outside. He can, get outside the zone. Henry's more north and south. The Cowboys are good up front in the middle, so I'm a little sketch on it, but after the way the Cowboys have looked defensively, I still have to put King Henry in my top 12. That rounds out tier 1. Heading to tier 2, here is my bold call of the week. You are going to see Zamir the Zeus White explode with 20-plus carries against the Carolina Panthers, whose defense is absolutely shot. They will have the Red Rifle, Andy Dalton, out there playing quarterback. It's not going to matter. He's going to be crushed by the good Raider D. And Zamir White is going to be playing in this first game of the season where the Raiders are ahead and can actually run the football. They've had a tough sledding so far. They did come back and beat the Ravens, which was impressive. But now you're going to get a full look at Zamir White this week, and everyone's going to have him on their bench in a panic, and it's going to be the wrong move. Number 14, Travis Etienne headed to Buffalo. Now it's like weird. If I'm looking at his projections and they have him at 10 points. Tank Bigsby got hurt, and Buffalo has been gashed by the run on the season. Their pass D has been their strength of their defense so far. They shut down Tyreek and Waddle, and even when Tua was out there. This is like an amazing smash play here for Etienne. I just want to see the Jaguars move the ball, man. It's been a rough, tough first 2 games for them with the Dolphins and the Browns. The Browns is a very good defense. They almost hung in there at the end. Etienne got the touchdown at the end. I mean, I like him for 15 plus this week, but I'm still going to keep him at my running back 14. Running back 15 is D. Montgomery, the man, the myth, the legend. This guy, all he does is just score points, guys. Just 16, 17 points a game. You can just lock it in. It's just like automatic. If he's not hurt at all, he's out there. You have the number 1 offensive line in the Lions. He's going to see goal line work. And him and Jamir Gibbs have both, it's like this. Jamir Gibbs, 17-17. Montgomery, 16-17. That's their points. That's how good these running backs are. His value was way too low in the draft. I try to tell everyone to reach up and grab him higher, and it is paying off now. Now, here comes a crazy one, guys. Just like Zamir White, this is the time to go get DAndre Swift right now. So DAndre Swift has had a brutal first 2 games, guys. Like absolutely crushing defenses that he's played against. So you saw in the Texans, and you don't want to play any running back versus the Texans, really. He only had 18 yards in game 1 against Tennessee, who's a good front as well. He had 30 yards. These are very tough matchups. Now, looking ahead here, you're about to get the Colts, who have been gashed just destroyed by the Packers run game. Then he gets the Rams. Then he gets the Panthers. If there was ever a buy low time on a very cheap running back right now, it is DAndre Swift. And he's actually been out there 70% of the snaps too. So he's, you saw Khalil Herbert, of course, vulture the goal line. That's always the downfall with DAndre Swift is he doesn't get the goal line work. I understand. But still, this should be an absolute volume game where he smashes. And I actually like him a lot this week versus the Colts. Brian Robinson Jr., my must-target running back at draft value in the draft, is paying off 100%. And now you get the Cincinnati Bengals. So Brian Robinson has 18 and 14.6 points over 2 games. Austin Ekeler's even hit double-digit points in these games as well, which is impressive to me. So I'm going to go bring up Austin Ekeler right now. He's ranked lower in my rankings. So he's around, I believe, 28 or so on there. I don't want to get it wrong here. Pull it up real quick. I have him at 26. 27. So in this game right here against Cincy, if you watch Pacheco play them, if you watch the first game with Rondre Stevenson play the Bengals, they crushed them with the run. I mean, this could be a heavy Brian Robinson, Austin Ekeler dose game here. And on Monday Night Football, I like both these starts. I like Brian Robinson as RB2, and I like Austin Ekeler as a flex because I think the Bengals are going to come out swinging in this game, and the Commanders are going to have to play catch up. And both these running backs are very good pass catching backs, and I like Brian Robinson at 17 and Austin Ekeler at 26 this week. Number 18, man, I was wrong last week here. I thought it was time to sit Tony Pollard against the freaking Jets, and Tony Pollard is just proving. He's just proven that he's healthy this year. Last year, he still had 1,000 yards with the Cowboys, and he was hurt. Now you're looking at 16.5 carries per game with him, and about a 70-yard average per game. He's averaged 17 fantasy points and 13 fantasy points. How do you sit this guy? Now you get Green Bay with Malik Willis. Like, dude, this is going to be a massive Tony Pollard game right here. I think it's going to be Pollard and Jacobs just going at it. Maybe some Anthony Richardson here and there. Or not Anthony Richardson, sorry. Will Levis will get some rushing yards here. But, I mean, Tony Pollard has impressed way more than I thought, and his draft value was worth every single penny if you got it because, I mean, you should try and trade for this guy even if they're 0-2. It looks like they're just going to feed him. And Tyjae Spears got a little banged up last game too, so you could even see even more Tony Pollard this week. Heading down to Tier 3. Now, this one I don't know about yet, but it looks like he's going to play, but I don't know. I haven't seen any doctor's updates right now on this video. I looked this morning or right before this video. I haven't seen anything, and it's Joe Mixon. So, if Joe Mixon is out there, I mean, he's playing the Vikings. And if you're looking at what Jordan Mason just did to the Vikings, you just rolled him up for 100+ and a TD. And now you have the offense of the Houston Texans that's going to get them down there all the time. I think, honestly, that I would put it as the Vikings was just a trap game for the 49ers. I don't know how they won that game. I don't think they should have. The 97-yard touchdown to Jefferson obviously helped. But if Joe Mixon is out here, I mean, his usage in week 1 will be the same if he's healthy, maybe a little less. Maybe, Dameon Pierce is banged up too. So, I mean, maybe he's a waiver wire option and Cam Akers if the update hits of Joe Mixon being out. But what I've seen so far is it's not a long-term injury and he could be back this week. But we don't know yet. So, I mean, it's up in the air right now. But I'd put him at running back 19 against Minnesota because they're very beatable against the run. But, again, I don't know if he's going to be out there. So, it's iffy. Number 20 is Rondre Stevenson, and this is my sell high running back right now. Yes, Rondre is balling. He has 22 points. He has 16 points. He is currently RB8 on the season, and the Patriots look like they're just running through him as a pure workhorse, which, yes, that is all true. But now, looking ahead here, this is why you want to get out and try and get as much value as you can. New York Jets, San Francisco 49ers, Miami Dolphins, Houston Texans, Jacksonville Jaguars, New York Jets, Tennessee Titans, Chicago. All those are top defenses that he's about to face. You're not going to – the game against Seattle stayed a lot closer than I thought. I think Seattle, played down a little bit. But you're not going to get the volume of all these touches. I don't think he's going to be seeing 20-plus attempts. He's had 25 carries and 21 carries in 2 games. That's because these games have been close. If the game gets out of hand here, Rondre is not the same value. And I think right now you've seen him at his ceiling, and you're about to see the floor. So for me, this is one of my huge sell highs, but he's still running back 20 because of the work he's getting. I don't like the Thursday night game versus the Jets at all, but he could fall in the end zone. But I'm looking ahead here, and these are how you win your fantasy championships, is by looking ahead. And the schedule coming is absolutely brutal for Rondre Stevenson. Number 21 is Rashad White. Had a little growing injury last week. You saw Bucky Irving come in, sprinkling a little bit here and there. Now, this one's tough for me, right? So when you have a growing injury and you're playing the Denver Broncos, do you put him out there, right? Is it even worth it? The Broncos are so terrible you could beat him without Rashad White. So I'm going to put him here at 21 for now. But I will say on right now in the video, if say Rashad White or something, they hold him out for the game because of the growing, even though the injury says he'll be out there, it says he's fine. But again, you don't know. It's Denver. I would put Bucky at 21 right here next to Rand because the matchup is so juicy against the Broncos. They get ran on by everybody. And their offense never moves the ball. So you just get another drive. And it's just nonstop. So, I mean, if either one of these guys, say Rashad White is out, I'll put Bucky Irving right here. But if Rashad White's in there, I'm going to keep him right here as well. Heading into number 22, Najee Harris. This game is going to be ugly, guys. They get the Chargers, and now you get a little Jaylen Warren was sprinkled in last time. But you have to just look at this. I mean, he's just like ramping up to explode, but it's not happening because he can't get in the end zone, right? So here's what I'm looking at. I'm looking at 56 and 45% snap shares, which looks bad, right? You're like, oh, that's not a full workload. But what I'm also looking at is 20 carries and 17 carries. The Pittsburgh defense is so disgusting that they're going to get so many opportunities that the snap share looks bad if you're looking at the scoreboard, right? So now I get the Chargers. The Chargers haven't passed the ball for anything all year. Herbert has 10 points and 10 points. Fields has 10 points and 10 points. This is going to be Najee, Jaylen Warren, the offensive line, versus J.K. Dobbins, Gus Edwards, and the offensive line. I mean, that's the best way I could put it. I didn't put Jaylen Warren up here. I will throw out J.K. Dobbins and Gus because we're talking about the same game here. I don't want to get them all at once. So Dobbins is my, I believe, 24, and Gus is my 31st on the week. And this is going to be 20 rushing attempts, 40 rushing attempts per both running backs here. I mean, I might see Najee get 25 carries, JK get 20 carries, Gus get 20 carries. I don't see much passing happen in this game. I mean, the defenses are both solid, and it's just going to be one of those 17-13 ugly grind out field goal kick 'em running games here. The next running back after Najee Harris, this is my bold call of the year, was to draft Ty Chandler as the running back 1 for the Minnesota Vikings. And everyone was like, why Aaron Jones has still got it? Yeah, Aaron Jones still has the juice. He still looked good in week 1. But what happened already in week 2? You saw the injury hit. You saw him come out of the game. This guy's 29 years old, almost turning 30. He has 5 MCL sprains to 1 knee. I mean, I didn't like drafting him at all, and this is exactly why. He's still going to be out there healthy this week. I mean, the Houston Texans front is nasty, guys. This is going to be ugly for Aaron Jones either way you spin it. And I'm trying to get out. That's why I said sell high in my last video if you can, because I just don't see him holding up, which is sad to say. Now, heading out of tier 4 here, this is my crazy call. That's going to get a lot of comments and a lot of stuff on Twitter and a lot of everything here. It is Jonathan Taylor. Why do I have Jonathan Taylor ranked as running back 25? Well, let's talk about it here. The Chicago Bears defense is absolutely disgusting. Just held Mixon to 30 yards? I know he got injured, right? Came back at the end for a little bit. Week 1 against Tennessee, Tony Pollard broke loose on a busted play touchdown that helped him for 30, I think it was 37 yards. Besides that, he had 20 yards rushing. This defense up front is nasty. Their secondary is nasty. Their safeties know how to come up and play press just like the best of them men. And Jonathan Taylor is my key to them this week in fantasy football. But I will get to that in my start sit videos. But I'm just trying to preemptively, put it in my rankings ahead of time. You're still going to start the guy because you paid the draft capital for him. But I'm just telling you that I'm calling a bad game here from Jonathan Taylor. Number 26, I believe I'm getting 26, Zach Moss. Heading Monday Night Football, getting the Commanders. Looks like a smash play. All the way around looks like a great play. You should be starting Zach Moss, right? But, man, he hasn't looked good. He fell in the end zone week 1. but he played 80% of the snaps in week 2 against the Chiefs. I mean, the Chase Brown stuff has got to stop. That's gone away completely. He has the job. And now you get the Commanders in Carolina. Like, this should be 2 smash games in a row for Zach. I want to rank him higher, but I just need to see it first. I know, he's only had 70 yards in 2 games on 21 carries, so it's not great. But the usage last week is really, really what I liked a lot. And 80% snap share is insane for a running back, and I absolutely love that value. But I'm going to keep him at running back 26 this week. We talked about Austin Ekeler. Now we're moving to the end of tier 4 here. This is Jerome Ford. God, man, can it get any worse? Like Jerome Ford. What do I have to do here to get this guy out there? I mean, it seems like he's the guy in week 1 with 75% snaps, and then Jacksonville week 2, he goes for 40% snaps, and you see more Devonta Freeman. So I don't know what to do here. This matchup is spicy. I mean, you get the New York Giants. This should be a smash. I should have him ranked in my top 17 to 15 range. But how do I do that when you just played 40% snaps? I mean, that's banking on a touchdown early, which could happen. I mean, this matchup is such a plus. The freaking Browns defense is going to eat the Giants alive. They're going to have so many opportunities offensively. But I still think he's a flex start. But I'm getting a little worried with the 40% snap share and seeing Foreman get the goal line work. Really, really has dropped his value down a lot for me. Now, on the other side of the ball, I called this last week. We're heading into tier 5. I said Devin Singletary is going to be a smash play, and he was. Absolutely smash play, almost 100 yards in a TD. But like I just said, now you're getting the Cleveland Browns defense, and it's going to be rough. But, I mean, if you're in a pinch, the best part about having Devin Singletary right now is he's averaging 75% of the snaps. This guy's out there all the time. He is the workhorse back out there 100%. I mean, he's had 26 carries. He has about 130 yards. 1 touchdown he got last week. Looked good. He's even seen the receiving work with 6 targets in 2 games. But you're getting the Cleveland Browns here. I mean, this is a 100% sit unless it's a desperation. This defense has shut down every single running back they played against, and they're going to keep doing it all year long. Javante Williams, number 29, or number 30. Sorry. All right. I said to bench him last week. I said he'd be under. Dude, he did nothing all game, guys. He beat his projection in garbage time, right? I mean, are you really excited about a guy balling out in garbage time? Because I'm not. I mean, he's had 19 carries in 2 games. He's averaged a 58% snap share split with Jaleel McLaughlin in both games. And in 19 carries, guys, he has 40 yards. He's at a 1.8 yards per carry average. Yes, he got the 5 targets. He got the 5 receptions. They were all dump-offs. He got 48 yards receiving, all in garbage time. Or maybe, I think 1 catch was in the first quarter. Besides that, I'm still not comfortable starting this guy, even though he just had a 9-point game. Okay? He beat his projection. I got to say I was wrong there, but, dude, it was ugly. And Gus Edwards, I have already talked about. Number 32 coming in here is going to be Zeke. And I would put Zeke over Warren and Mostert because I feel like you're playing the Ravens and he's going to get the goal line work here. And I feel like the Cowboys bounce back. I mean, Zeke has done nothing special so far. I can't, I'm in the 32, so I'm looking at it differently here. But Zeke, man, he's only had 16 attempts, 56 yards. He's only played 45.5% of the snaps on the season. He has 5 targets and 25 receiving yards. Dowdle looked better in the receiving game last week. I mean, he should have taken this job since week 1. I don't know what they're doing with Dalvin Cook and Zeke Elliott. The Cowboys just look like a lost cause this year all year long either way, besides CeeDee Lamb and Dak. But, man, I mean, maybe I would say Carson Steele over Zeke, but I just don't know how it's going to play out, obviously, and then remember, guys, if K9 or Charbonnet are in there, they would be top 10 for K9 and top 15 for Charbonnet, which would move Zeke out either way. So, that's it for the running back rankings, guys. I'm going to go over the tiers again for the people listening on Spotify and Apple. My ballers tier number 1, Devon Achane, Jordan Mason, Breece Hall, Bijan Robinson, Saquon Barkley, Alvin Kamara. Those are must-start running backs. Tier 1, Jahmyr Gibbs, James Cook, Josh Jacobs, James Conner, Kyron Williams, Derrick Henry. To start off, tier 2 is my big sleeper call of the week with Zamir White, Travis Etienne, David Montgomery, and another great sleeper call here is going to be DAndre Swift, Brian Robinson, Tony Pollard. Heading down to tier 3, Joe Mixon. We don't know if he's out there yet. I think he's going to play. We don't know. So pay attention for Dameon Pierce on your wire or Cam Akers, depending on the Pierce update. Rondre Stevenson, Rashad White. Rashad White's also a little iffy. You could see Bucky. It's Denver. Denver's terrible. So, he might see more work because they're growing. Najee Harris, Aaron Jones, J.K. Dobbins, the leading rusher in the NFL, but he has a tough matchup against Pittsburgh. That's why I have him low. Tier 4, Jonathan Taylor. The Bears front is nasty. He is my call to be low this week. Zach Moss, Austin Ekeler, Jerome Ford. Tier 5, Devin Singletary, Javante Williams, Gus Edwards, Ezekiel Elliott. And remember, guys, K9 or Charbonnet, if they're out there, either one by themselves starting, top 10 or top 15 for Charbonnet. And I have Mostert, Jalen Warren out, and Carson Steele I don't know about yet. That is it for episode 49, my running back week 3 rankings. Thanks for rocking with me today, guys. Make sure you hit that heart. Make sure you smash that subscribe button. Turn that bell on. And if you have any fantasy football questions, period, trades, rosters, starts, dynasty, whatever it is, drop them in the comments. I am here to help you guys win that ultimate goal of the championship this year. And make sure to check out my wide receiver and tight end and defense and kicker rankings will be coming later. And I've also already dropped my QB rankings if you want to check that out as well, guys. And again, all the support has been appreciated across all the platforms, YouTube, Spotify, Apple. I can't thank you guys enough. I'll catch you guys in the next video, man. SleezBall out.
Yeah.